Hello, welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a romance reading for October 2nd. This is a general collective reading, so as always, please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. All of my readings, I consider them to be timeless. Some of them do have kind of a specific energy that I'm pulling in, but I feel like if you feel called to watch one of my videos or if it shows up on your video feed, then it's showing up for a reason. Let's get started here. I don't know about you guys, the eclipse was today, and I feel like today has just been like a vibe. The energy has been pretty intense for me. So actually feel especially happy to sit down and do a reading tonight and just kind of get into the energy. What does this collective need to know for their romance journey here this week? We have few of them. We have the Eight of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. That's interesting. So I pulled the Eight of Cups. I feel like maybe it was in my eclipse reading. I don't know. I remember pulling this card in a recent reading. On this deck, it says abandoned success on it. I'm really actually drawn to the fact that this person has white hair. I feel like that's the thing that's kind of getting me the most in this card. So it's interesting. It makes me feel like whatever it is that you are walking away from, that you kind of have this like emotional investment in, is something that you've been investing in for like a long time. Like for this person to be walking away at this advanced age, I feel like it's just been a long time that you've been investing in this. It's interesting, the Four of Pentacles as earthly power. I kind of like that. The vibe of this card in this deck is actually very balanced. It's neat. I like reading different decks because it kind of helps me read from my intuition and not just from the meaning of the card. What this feels like to me is you walking away to like a more balanced place. I'm noticing even that like the figure on the card is younger, and I kind of am drawn to the fact that they both have like this red kind of robe on. It's almost like you're losing something that was causing you to feel like burdened or old or drained. In terms of a relationship, this could be like actually walking away from a relationship. And just the relief that comes from that. Like if this was something that was really draining for you, kind of being able to rebalance your time, your money, your energy, kind of your physical resources on the earth, and being able to rebalance them and feel like those resources belong to just you again. It's like a nice feeling, actually. It feels kind of satisfying. This doesn't necessarily have to mean the end of a relationship. As I point out often, it could be like the end of a phase of your relationship, right? So maybe you've been growing and working through something. That feels nice, this row. I didn't turn them over because I knew they'd distract me, and as soon as I did, I'm very distracted. It feels like it could be kind of walking away from a certain energy that's been in your relationship, right? Maybe you guys have been fighting or there's some conflict or something like that, right? So this card, the Eight of Cups, this walking away, just because the relationship reading, it doesn't necessarily always have to indicate that there's like a breakup, right? To me, it just means there was something that you were pretty emotionally invested in. I'm feeling the vibe that it was for a long time and that you're kind of walking away from whatever this was because it's not turning out the way that you hoped it would, right? You kind of invested in it. You kind of threw your chips down into that thing, right? And now you're walking away because it just never blossomed. That's kind of the feeling that I'm getting. So it feels smart to me. Like you're deciding with this Four of Pentacles card, this is your resources, right? You're deciding that whatever this was is no longer worth investing your resources in. So I feel this feeling of pulling them back into balance, pulling them back into yourself. It feels really good. On the second row here, we have the Fool, we have the Two of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Wands. I feel this as, it's really interesting. because she says, is it harmonious change? Yeah, harmonious change is the Two of Pentacles. I'm super drawn to the fact that the Fool is moving one way and the Eight of Wands is moving the other way. And the Two of Pentacles in the middle is sort of like this juggling or balancing. And both of these cards are cards of forward movement in their own way. So the Fool is a major arcana card. That's going to be like a more life-changing event. He's free. He is like fairly minimally burdened. He's very trusting. He has a lot of faith in the universe. He's spontaneous. He's just sort of ready to go off and have an adventure without too much planning. And then the Eight of Wands card is a lot more of like a directed energy. So whereas the Fool doesn't have a plan, he's just kind of spontaneous and like open to whatever comes up for him, right, on his trip. The Eight of Wands are like very focused because the wands are sort of flying through the air like arrows and they're going to hit their target. They move very quickly. The word on the card here is swiftness. So there's like an interesting difference in the energy. I feel like this will resonate differently for different people, but kind of the main message that I'm getting here is that walking away from whatever this was that you were invested in gets you to a point where you sort of have some choices to make. And I feel you sort of with that infinity symbol or like juggling those pentacles, kind of trying to decide what you think is going to be the best choice. And I feel like the choices sort of have these energies. So one of them is maybe more of an adventure, kind of more free-flowing, maybe more of a risk. You don't really know what's going to happen. And the other one kind of feels more like this laser-focused determination where there's like a specific goal or destination that you're sort of trying to hit like a target. So if this is you, it will be very obvious, these choices, like the different energies of the choices. Very focused versus like very free and open here with the Fool. It's interesting. So if this is you walking away from an actual relationship, I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunities or like options opening for you. And it's kind of a cool, like potentially life-changing point for you where you get to decide what energy resonates for you in terms of like how you want to move forward. We have the Nine of Swords. It says despair and cruelty. Yikes. I'm like weirdly drawn to the swords and the wands being similar actually. It's feeling like an energy of like darts to me. I don't know how to describe that. I'm feeling an energy of like psychic darts. It's not usually something that I like to talk about because I feel like all you have to do is put up boundaries, right? And just decide that you're not going to accept that energy and then it just like bounces right off of you. It kind of can't really affect you. So that might resonate for somebody listening. Maybe there's a need to put up some boundaries. If this is either a relationship that you're walking away from or maybe like a toxic behavior pattern in your relationship, it might be that you need to set some boundaries around this sort of feeling of like emotional darts being thrown at you, kind of. It feels like somebody acting out of pain in kind of that energy of like, well, I'm hurt, so now I'm going to hurt you, right? That's what I'm getting from this. I know it's kind of a lot that came out, but I feel like I'm going to flip them over so they don't distract me. This is going to be a big reading here. I'm actually going to put this over here because these cards, it's just like even visually, right? All these parallel lines like running across the card. It's like a very specific energy that I'm feeling. It really just feels like energy darts. And even the way that she's kind of like ducking her head and like covering herself up, I'm feeling like setting boundaries with any of that sort of energy that's coming at you is really important. Yeah, this is very interesting. The Queen of Cups here, I love her. What is this in her cup? It looks like a little bird. Oh, it's like a crayfish or something. That's so cute. I love that. She's got this behind her head kind of is reminding me of the moon. The little lotus blossoms here. And then this crane or heron. That's really sweet. The Queen of Cups, for me, feels kind of like the opposite of this energy. So this energy feels very spiky, very directed. It's like an attackish energy in terms of like psychic attack or emotional attack. Like I said, I really feel like whatever you're walking away from here, I feel like it's triggering someone, and the way that they're responding to being triggered is by being like cruel and kind of taking that pain out on you. It's not a good feeling at all. It's actually making me really uncomfortable to feel this energy. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive, and she's like a really gentle soul. So I feel like she's just a message, like what I said. Like I feel like I want to put her as far away from these two cards as possible. Like make a little nice thing for her. She can chill with the Fool. Like his energy feels pretty nice to me. But yeah, she's like a really gentle soul, and I think she would be the type to believe that like people are really kind and they wouldn't hurt her, things like that. But I really feel like, I don't know that this energy is necessarily trying to be like super cruel to you. I feel like it's just reactivity out of being in pain. But all I feel from this Queen of Cups is that I want to put her in a bubble and like protect her. So I do feel like if this is resonating for you and you're feeling some of this kind of like attackish dart, like emotional or spiritual dart energy, definitely do some grounding and do some energetic shielding. There's tons of like guided meditation videos on YouTube that can help you with that. If you look up grounding or like shielding your energy, it will be really easy for you to find something. I keep hearing in my head, I just want to go for a walk. I just want to go for a walk. So I don't know if that will mean something to anybody. Like if maybe you had a fight and you're like literally walked out of the house to walk away from like a toxic situation. I just keep hearing that. All right. We have the Tower, the Ace of Swords, and the Lovers. Yeah. I feel like at least for some of you who are listening, this will be the actual end of a relationship. And I say that because of the Tower here and the Ace of Swords. So it feels to me like the Tower sometimes for me just feels like suddenness, but this one in particular feels like a sudden ending. That sort of, I've talked about this before, like anything that's built on an unstable foundation just coming crashing down because it's simply not sustainable. And it's not really for you. It's like building a castle in the sand on the edge of a cliff at the edge of the ocean, right? It's going to come tumbling down at some point. It's not safe. It's not sustainable. It's not real. And I feel like the Ace of Swords is just gaining this clarity. I feel like this feels very protective to me. It's bouncing off these cards, and it's also bouncing off the Queen of Cups. The clarity here feels very protective to me because I think it's causing you to kind of have like that shield or buffer to protect you from this kind of psychic dart energy. And I hope you guys kind of get what I mean by that. I don't really know that I have better words to explain that. I really don't. It just feels like psychic darts. Like if someone's throwing shade at you, right? Or their words are nice, but you can almost feel like a hatred or a resentment or a jealousy or like some sort of negative emotion there, even though their words are in no way actually expressing that. If you're intuitive, you can pick up on that kind of thing, right? It's like a vibration under sort of the reality that's kind of supposedly in front of you, right? But anyways, I feel like this Ace of Swords is like slicing through. I keep seeing it slicing through these swords, these wands, kind of slicing them out of the air and just like dissolving them into nothing. And then you have this clarity and this victory. And it doesn't feel like victory, like winning in terms of beating somebody kind of thing. Like it's not really winning like a power dynamic. It's you winning by saying, forget it. You can't treat me like that, right? Forget it. I'm not going to accept that energy. So whatever this pattern is here, if it is like a current relationship and you're in this collective, right? Like don't take this if it doesn't resonate. But if you're in this collective and this is resonating for you, it feels like you, at the very least, you getting completely clear that you're just not going to tolerate being treated like this anymore. I feel like the Lovers is showing that, like, it's really sweet. They're kind of feeling to me like they're in the Garden of Eden, right? He's like holding her and they're gazing at each other and they're sort of being like blessed by this angel. The angel, that's funny, actually has a glowing sword that's pointing down at them, which is reminiscent of the Ace of Swords to me. It's sort of that blessing and that clarity sort of coming down from the angel onto the Lovers. This is what you deserve. It's like reminding me of like a Harlequin romance cover or something like that, right? Like you deserve that romance, that sweetness, right? It's like that happily ever after. Like, I don't know, growing up, I had a lot of upsets around happily ever after, and it was very triggering for me. Because I thought that I would never have it. So I think I was like angry at happily ever after. But it's real and it's so sweet. Like the feeling coming off of that for me is like, that's what you deserve. You don't deserve this psychic dart kind of attacky energy. Like, yuck. It feels so bad. Like the vibe coming off of those cards is so ick. I can't even. It's, I don't even think I have adequate words to describe how toxic that is. And again, I just feel like this I kind of want to hide her behind the Fool. I keep wanting to do that. So there's something about this Fool energy that I think feels really safe and protective. It's kind of funny. I don't usually get that vibe from him, but I feel like that sort of innocence and that openness to adventure is somehow protective for you from this energy. Again, if this is like an actual breakup or like a relationship situation that's kind of falling apart because of this toxicity, it could just be that you deciding to have that new adventure, right? And kind of be open to like whatever's next. That could be the protective factor for you, that you just kind of leaving this behind. This is really powerful. If you're in this collective, you'll definitely know. This is a very specific energy. All right. What advice do you have for this collective for their love journey this weekend? We have... Oh, that's sweet. The Six of Cups, pleasure, and the Three of Cups, abundance. Wow, those are two really sweet cards. That's really sweet. I feel like those are very much vibing with the energy of the Queen of Cups over here. That's like her sweetness. I mean, they're both Cups cards too, right? They're in her wheelhouse. And the sweetness that's coming off of the Lovers card too. I almost thought to say when I was describing it, it's almost like a cotton candy, like sticky sweetness. I don't feel like that's accurate, but I feel like maybe that's how it's going to feel to you. So let me think of how to say this. If you're in this collective, this situation that you have been in, that you're walking away from, the situation, the energy, the relationship, whatever it is that you're walking away from, it's toxic. There's like, I don't know that it's toxic all the time, but there's definitely some toxic energy between the two of you. That I don't feel like it's getting better. I just feel these psychic darts keep flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing, and they don't stop until you take that Ace of Swords and like slice them down. So this is just an energy that keeps flowing and flowing. And I feel like if that's what you're used to, is being treated in like this toxic way, it's like this pure sweetness of love feels like too much to you, or like sticky. It's almost feels like a fake sweetness. I don't know how else to describe that. It's like, I feel like it's just the contrast of living in this toxic energy, and then all of a sudden kind of surrendering to the idea that maybe life doesn't have to be toxic. Maybe love is not like that. Maybe love is this. Maybe it's like sweet and simple and pure and safe and protective, you know? Maybe it's innocent. You know, the message of the Six of Cups, it says pleasure, and it's like this really sweet, innocent pleasure of childhood. I think it's really cute that they're like making little vases or something. It's just like doing this sweet, simple activity that they love, right? And this card of friendship is so sweet, like being able to connect with others who love you and who have your best interests at heart and who genuinely like value you and their connection with you and your energy and like the unique special things that you bring to the table, to the connection, to the friendship, to the relationship, like whatever that is, right? So I feel like all of those things, that safety, that sweetness, that innocence, the purity, just like that feeling of true love flowing, I think it's gonna maybe feel a little weird to you, or almost like a little fake or unreal, just because you're used to this. You're used to having these like psychic emotional darts thrown at you constantly, and it's just not what actual love is. And I feel like the universe is inviting you to kind of have that clarity. It's the universe is kind of stepping in, right? And breaking you free from this with that Tower card, saying this is not for you, this toxic situation. And again, whether it's walking away from just a phase of the relationship or entirely walking away from this relationship, it's not for you. You getting clear on that, kind of cutting through those darts, right? Sort of a feeling of gaining some protection around yourself and really just letting this sweetness in and like surrendering, basically allowing yourself to believe that it's real, right? That it's not some sticky, sweet, fake thing, that this is really real. Like the purity and innocence of this love in these cards is really beautiful. It feels like the feeling of like one of those first mornings in the spring where the air is finally warming up, right? And you like walk outside and you don't need a jacket for the first time. And you're like just in a light shirt and the sun is shining on you. And there's like a little bit of a chill to the air, but the sun just feels like so heavenly on your skin. And it's like springtime, so everything feels like fresh and new. And there's like flowers and the leaves are budding. And like that's the feeling that I get from this Lover's card and the 6 and the 3 of Cups. It's like fresh. It's really fresh and it's really new and innocent and like so sweet. It's really beautiful. Yeah, if you're in this collective, I feel like you have some healing to do around just letting that love in. That's all it is. Just like kind of having blind faith a little bit that it's real. That love is that sweet. It is that safe, and that it's for you. That this is you in the card, whether you're the masculine or the feminine, right? I just feel this like wonderful, safe feeling of connection. It feels really beautiful. We have the Devil. I feel like the Devil is the guy or gal throwing these psychic darts at you. That's like a really, it's just such an ick energy. I don't really know how else to describe that. It's very toxic. I feel like it's breaking free from this pattern with that Ace of Swords. I feel like the Ace of Swords is the thing that kind of helps you defeat this devil, right? So not letting yourself get stuck in this pattern anymore. And I feel like the way that you sort of combat that is literally just by realizing that you deserve better. You don't deserve to have this sort of dart energy thrown at you all the time. You don't deserve any sort of attack ever. You deserve peace, and you deserve safety and clarity and love. And I think it's making me think too of, like, I said these guys are reminding me of Adam and Eve and Satan, right, in the Garden of Eden, sort of turning it from this beautiful paradise to this place where he has both of them sort of chained up and like under his control. So it just feels like an energy of like freeing yourself from that. Really, really freeing yourself from that and allowing yourself to have this really sweet love. We have the Three of Swords. It says this, Three of Swords. That was a fumble. The Three of Wands says establish strength. That really feels to me like that clarity and that openness of looking towards the future. I'm feeling a similar energy there as the Fool card. He has his ships coming in, and I feel like this is the energy that comes in for you as soon as you realize that you deserve this sweet love and that exists for you. Like I've talked about this before. For me, it's my twin flame. For you, maybe it's a soulmate. It could just be like your highest level spiritual connection in this lifetime, right? But that exists and it's real and you can heal and you can have it. We have the Seven of Swords. It says unstable effort. And then the Priestess of Pentacles. So it's the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. This is a very clear message that I just got from these two cards. And like ignore the gender on the cards. It's not a big deal. It's just about the energy, right? So it's a man in this one and a woman in this one on the cards, but it can be any gender in real life. This is just the energy that I'm getting from this, is that this person stealing the swords is the same energy as is sending you these like psychic darts. So if this is, for example, a relationship partner that you're walking away from, or that something's changing in your relationship, it feels very much to me like they are still up to their same old tricks. So I think this will probably resonate if you're in this collective. This feels like an energy of someone who often will be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll change. I'll work on that. It'll get better next time. I'll never treat you like that again. It was just because of whatever. So maybe, I had a bad day at work, or you burnt dinner and I wasn't happy about it. Or I feel like there's some sort of excuse or excuses involved in sort of trying to justify this behavior on a level. But what we can see is this guy's just collecting more swords. So all he's doing is collecting more swords so that he has more ammunition to throw at you. Like, I feel like there's going to maybe be some pretty words happening around kind of promising that this pattern will change, or, oh, I'll never do that again. But I also feel like if you're in this collective, you've heard that before. So those words will feel very familiar to you as I'm saying this. That you've heard that story before, but the behavior has never changed, right? And then I feel like this is you. I feel like this is you kind of finally, it's resonating off of the Four of Pentacles for me. So that energy that I said, where it kind of feels like stability, like stabilizing your resources, your time, your money, your physical health, right? Kind of stabilizing those resources. And I feel the energy of her kind of slowly moving forward. And she's got that pentacle right there, right? So she's kind of taken her resources back and she's ready to move forward with them. But what I'm noticing is while she's moving forward, he is looking back at her with this sort of like grin on his face that he's up to something. So I feel like, again, I'm just getting the message. She feels very innocent to me, just like these two cards and just like this Queen of Cups here. And even the Lovers, actually. But these guys in particular, these Cups cards, she feels very innocent. And it feels to me like kind of an energy of like, watch your back. And I don't mean that in any sort of like a physical sense. Like, I don't get the feeling that you're in physical danger or something like that. But I do feel like if this resonates for you, like I said, just looking up some meditation on like grounding or shielding or anything like that, just to kind of protect your innocence and your sweetness. And kind of get the feeling that this person isn't going to give up without a fight. And I feel like you might actually be at a point where you're ready to move on and let it go and not let this person be toxic to you anymore. And to me, that feels very brave and very powerful. And I feel like your reward is that you get to like kind of learn this sweetness. I really feel like once you can do some healing here, the amount of sweetness and innocence and like purity that you will be letting in here is incredible. I actually feel really sad right now. You feel like I'm channeling some sadness here, and I feel like I just want to give you a hug. So if you even have listened this far, just know that I am sending you love, and you are amazing, and you do not deserve to be treated in bad or toxic ways ever. You deserve the sweetness of real love and to know what that really feels like. I feel like this is a romance, angels, and I also think that's so funny. Okay, I feel like this card wants to make itself known. It says 5-5, the electric creative expression. I accidentally put a twin flame card away. Oh, I put 3 twin flame cards away. All right. This is funny. These are going to be the same 3 as we got in another reading recently. 4-4, twin flame facilitator, expansive growth. And Voyager's Journey, 2-2, past life healing. That's sweet. Voyager's Journey definitely reminds me of the Fool. 2-2 is a sweet energy too. That makes me think of the 2 of Cups and sort of being able to come together with a relationship partner, kind of in some sort of like a union, committed relationship, a marriage. Past life healing, yeah. I feel like that's just healing from this pattern of thinking that you deserve to be treated in like these toxic ways, right? By this devil. And no, I don't literally mean that somebody is the devil in your life, but it's just that kind of energy, right? Where there's maybe some cruelty or unkind things going on. And again, I think it's coming from that person's ego that like they are hurt and the best thing that they know to do is like lash out at you because you hurt them. Which I get, like I can have compassion for that, right? I feel like that can be natural to a degree. But again, I feel like the 7 of Swords is very clearly communicating to me that this person may have excuses or say that they'll change, but I don't get that energy from this at all. I mentioned twin flames before. I feel like the situation that you're leaving is not your twin flame and or soulmate, again, or whatever resonates for you, right? For me, it's twin flames, so that's just what I talk about. But I feel like this toxic energy is not your twin flame. But that in kind of, I mean, whether you allow it or not, the universe is kind of dissolving this situation, right? But by kind of grasping your power here and getting clear, kind of clearing this toxic energy, I feel like you make room for your twin flame. I just looked up and the time was 33:33. It's so funny. I don't even look at the time that much. And whenever I do, it's always like a double number, an angel number. It's so funny. But if you can heal from this pattern of believing that you deserve to be treated like this, you make way for the person to come in who really is meant for you. Or if this is, I don't know, I'm really reading this as a new person who would be coming in and kind of giving you like this innocent, gentle love. For some of you, it could be that a new phase in your relationship sort of brings some of that in, but for the majority who are getting this message, I feel like it's going to be a new relationship. This is cool. I like this. Okay. At the bottom of the romance angels, we have wedding. This situation involves marriage. So it could be that you are walking away from a marriage. I think I had channeled something similar in a recent reading where I was saying maybe your connection was sort of on the track towards marriage. or maybe you were engaged or something like that. Please don't marry a person who treats you badly. You deserve so much better than that. There is no need to marry a person who treats you badly. We have, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership, and stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. I feel like this is interesting. Give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. I don't know. Maybe that will resonate for some of you in terms of actually working things out with this person. I feel like for some of you, this is the past behavior that you've been stuck in, is that you're giving this guy chance after chance after chance after chance because he says, oh, it's just a bad day. Oh, I'll change. You know, I'll never treat you like that again. And you just keep giving him chance after chance. So that's interesting. I feel like that actually means the opposite for most of you. But for some of you, it could be that there's something here worth saving. So as always with all my readings, like use your own intuition and use your own judgment. I don't know everybody's individual situation, right? So I'm just here kind of reading the energies that are sticking out the most powerfully for me from the cards. And then stay optimistic about your love life. I feel like I mentioned that earlier when I said part of this is just having blind faith that happily ever after is real. And like that sort of sweet, safe love where you're like seen and cherished and, you know, cared for, and someone like genuinely cares about connecting with you like on a really deep level. That's real, and just being able to like allow yourself to believe in that. It feels really, really sweet to me. I really feel like a huge part of this, the healing for this collective, is just realizing that you deserve to be treated with kindness. It literally is really that simple. I deserve to be treated with kindness. And like, if this guy can't do that, then that's not your guy, right? Or person, right? Whoever, your guy, your gal. And maybe for some of you, this person goes through something that does sort of drastically transform them, you know? Who knows? I feel like I want to pull, yeah, that came out really fast. An animal card. Fearless frog, rebirth, cleansing, revitalization. Dancing spirit of the pond, show me the path leading to a fresh start. Yeah, that's really sweet. That is bouncing off of the Fool card for me, this expansive growth card, the Queen of Cups. I feel like both of these Cups cards, and even the Three of Wands, that's cool. And I'm feeling, I just channeled, oh, and I was looking at her, it makes me think of like the Princess and the Frog, especially since she's called the princess. So that's interesting. I actually kind of feel that as the energy that this tower is like making way for. One of my friends, I love this, she taught me that FROG is actually an acronym for fully rely on God. And I love that expression. When I was at the beginning of my spiritual journey, I felt like that really helped me with sort of learning to surrender everything to God. That's really powerful. I love that. Fearless frog. Show me the path leading to a fresh start. It's the Fool. I kind of feel like he's the superstar of this reading. I feel like there's something about his energy that's really protecting the Queen of Cups. And he just has this fresh innocence about him that's very connected to like the Lovers, the Six of Cups, and the Three of Cups cards. The Princess and the Frog here, I'm going to put them together because I feel like they belong together. It's like your frog prince. So I feel like that's kind of a wink, like a cute wink for anybody who is moving on from a relationship. The frog is making me think like whoever shows up for you next might not be your usual type. It might not be someone who you originally like in the beginning feel attracted to. But I feel like there's something magical there for you if you just kind of kiss the frog and like let it transform, right? And I don't literally mean kiss a frog, but I'm sure you guys know the story of the Frog Prince, right? Allowing a situation that maybe you don't think is for you, right? Kind of allowing it to unfold and show you how magical it is feels really awesome. Like this princess and the frog over time unfold to become this, right? Like that's how magical this is. There's a transformation that comes that feels really beautiful, but I feel like you have to be willing to have faith and give it a chance. What I'm getting is it's kind of like seeing through an illusion. Like maybe this person, this guy is sort of, your usual type or something like that, right? And your usual type is a person who treats you badly. But this frog is so sweet and gentle and sort of being willing to kind of just go against your usual type. Yeah, let something new in. It's part of that adventure of the Fool, like letting in something new. Wow. There's a lot of heavy energy here. I actually feel like I can feel it, and a lot of sad energy. So if you are in this collective, definitely make sure that you're doing a lot of really good self-care. Do a lot of grounding, do a lot of shielding, go for walks, get like physical activity, make yourself good food, hang out with friends, watch movies, like whatever helps you chill out and feel safe. Make sure you're taking really good, sweet, tender care of yourself because you have some healing to do here around, basically why you think you deserve to be treated like this in the first place, right? Because you don't deserve that. So I hope that was helpful. One of my favorite readers says, and I love this expression when he says it, like, even if this helped one person, for me, that feels really satisfying and good. So I hope that person was you. And I hope to see you in my next reading. Yeah, I just feel like I want to say like blessings on your healing journey. This is a big deal for you. And I feel like it's going to hurt and be sad. And then it's going to be wonderful. It's going to feel so different for you. There's like huge transformation coming. So, yep. Happy healing and blessings to you. And I'll see you guys in my next reading. Bye.